Alright guys, here we are back with our round 4 tipping. So last week I got 5 out of 9, another hard round of tipping. Flash got 5 as well. We only had a couple of differences. He definitely picked the Crows, which was a good win by the Crows. Geelong was pretty poor. I think we both got that wrong. Lions was poor. We got that wrong. But overall, from what I've seen from other videos, 5 wasn't a bad tipping round for last week. So anyway, here we go again. Same deal as normal. I'll put Flash Crows tips down the bottom. If you haven't liked and subscribed to his channel, make sure you go over there and show him some support. He's nearly up to 1,000 subs. So he's busy doing other things at the moment. So I'm doing the tips this year. So let's get started and let's have a look at another Thursday night round for the Lions. We don't do very well in these big Thursday night, Friday night games for some reason. But this one is at the Gabba. But we're coming up against the Red Hot Pies. And who knows what the Lions are going to produce this week. But they're pretty decent at the Gabba. I think we've only lost about 3 games in the last 40 games at the Gabba. Again, I have to bet with my heart. I'm a Lions supporter, but Collingwood is playing scintillating football at the moment. So I should be picking Collingwood if I was doing this for money. I'm not doing this for money, so I'm going to hope that the Lions bounce back. I was wrong against when they played Melbourne, so hopefully I'm wrong again. But I'm not going to go too much. I'm going to go a really close game, so we'll go about 9 points for the Lions. Then on the Friday, a little bit easier tipping here. We've got Carlton taking on the Roos. So North got sort of humbled by the Hawks last week, back to kind of where we know that they're going to be. So there's nothing really much to say about this. Carlton aren't travelling all that wonderful at the moment, but it's a good sign when you're not playing at your absolute best and you're still getting the W's next to your column. So they've had 2 wins and a draw now. So the good draw against Richmond, but they should have won that one as well. And then they've still got a couple of easy games coming. So Carlton could be 5 and a draw by the end of the 6th round. But I'm going to go Carlton there. Then we go over to Adelaide. So Adelaide Crows take on Freo. So you wouldn't be backing against Adelaide the way that they played on the weekend. That last quarter was sensational by them. They've been building for a while now. Adelaide looks like they've recruited well. They've still got a couple of injury concerns, but from what I see, like every Adelaide team, at least you know they show up, and at least you know that they've got effort. So I'm going to go Adelaide here. So Freo looked a lot better on the weekend, but they were up against a depleted West Coast, and up until 3/4 times, they looked like they might lose it. They did start playing a lot better, Freo, but I think the way that the Adelaide Crows are moving the ball at the moment, I can see Crows' victory here, particularly at Adelaide Oval. Then we've got Richmond and the Bulldogs. So I don't think Richmond are flying too well at the moment. I think they look a bit sluggish. So it is at the MCG, but the Bulldogs play all right there. They weren't especially wonderful against the Lions. I think it was more the Lions weren't playing well. Richmond should win this game, but there's always a couple of upsets in the round. So I'm actually going to see that if the Bulldogs get a bit of confidence out of the win against the Lions. And let's see if they can take on Richmond. And yeah, like I said, Richmond aren't flying. Well, they haven't really flown for a couple of years now. But anyway, talent-wise, Richmond should win this, but I'm going to go the Doggies. And then on the Saturday, we've got St Kilda, top of the ladder at the moment with 3 and zip against Suns, who had a good win against Geelong. If the Suns bring the pressure that they did against Geelong, this is going to be a pretty close game. I've got a feeling that St Kilda might just have a bit more talent than the Suns, but it was really nice to see Lukosius jump out of his shell on Sunday. And that kick that when he was 70 metres out and told the umpire, I'm going to kick a goal, and then to go back and kick a goal, that takes a bit of talent. And so if you can get him flying, I'd like to see Mabior Chol come back into the team just to give him a bit more options. Casbolt is good, but they need to get a bit more marking power down in their forward line. But yeah, they played well. But I'm going to have to go St Kilda. St Kilda are playing really well at the moment under Ross Lyons. Like I say in all my videos, I like the way that they play. They remind me of the Swans. I like the way the Swans play. It's all effort, effort, effort. So I'm going to go St Kilda to beat the Suns. And then on the Saturday afternoon, talking about the Swans, we've got the Swans against Port Adelaide. Now, I wasn't too impressed with the Swannies last weekend. They got touched up by Melbourne, but I think there's going to be a lot of teams that get touched up by Melbourne. Melbourne are my number one ranked team at the moment, and they haven't even got Gawn. So, but Port... I've picked Port to make the 8. They're under the pump again. They flogged us in the first round, and then they put in 2 pretty ordinary efforts. But they've got some super talent in that team. They're really lacking in their back line. I don't know why it changes. Like Jonas looks old for some reason, where he's normally one of their most consistent players. Powell Pepper's still playing well. Rosie and... They've got some really good talent in the team. So this might be another bit of an upset. So I know it's at the SCG and the Swans are hard to beat there, but the Swans, they just don't, like, from the back line to the midfield, they look great, but they are lacking a bit in their forward line. They're still trying to work out what to do with Buddy. I don't even know if he'll play this week, but yeah, this is a roughie. I'm going to go Port, just because I think that Hinkley doesn't deserve. I think if they lose this, Hinkley's under the pump big time, but I think they might respond, and I can see this being a lot closer than what this says at 94 to 6%. So that's my upset for the round. I'm going to go Port. Essendon against the Giants, 2 like-for-like teams. Essendon have been playing well, didn't play very well on the weekend. Giants played 1 game out of 3. Sometimes they look like they've got the Lamborghini fired back up again, and then they fall away. But Essendon are a bit the same. Again, another really tight game. Some of these games is just a flip of the coin, and you just got to be lucky with them. I might go another one. I'm going to go GWS. I think because Toby Green had such a poor game, or quiet game for his standards. I think he's too proud for that. So I think he might bounce back and kick 4 goals for him, and really put some pressure on Essendon. So let's go another upset there. Let's go GWS. West Coast have absolutely been demolished with injuries again. So how could you possibly pick West Coast against the Melbourne team? So Melbourne should win that one quite easily. Want to be careful here, the Eagles, that might blow out to a 15-goal win by Melbourne. And so not much to say about that game. On the Monday, alright, so what's that, Easter Monday? So we've got Cats and the Hawks. So normally this would be a lay-down misère where you just pencil in the Cats. But the way they're going, And I actually don't mind the Hawks. They've got a couple of good little players and they try, and when they get hold of a team. Now I know it's a big jump from North Melbourne to Geelong. Is that the MCG? This could be a real upset. This could put me on top of the ladder if I pick this one. But I just think the Cats have just got too much talent. But it's going to be a closer game than what people think. And I wouldn't be surprised. Another danger game. I picked Geelong to beat the Suns, but I said it was a danger game for them last week, and it definitely was. So if they come fired up, Hawthorn, it's another danger game for Geelong. If they drop this, they can't make the 8. It's that simple. It hasn't been done for 40 years. So there we go. So a couple of upsets I'm picking. Port is an upset. Western Bulldogs is an upset. And GWS to beat Essendon is another upset for me. This one here is not going to be an upset because I'm a Lions supporter. I should be picking Collingwood, but like I said, sometimes your heart is better than your head, and I take that kick back. So I'll leave all our tips at the end of the video. We'll have a quick look at the ladder. We've got St Kilda up on top, which hasn't happened since 1966. And Collingwood is exactly where they should be at the moment. Melbourne are climbing. Melbourne and Collingwood are definitely the two best teams in the competition at the moment. Sydney, like I said, were a little bit disappointing, but they're still in that top tier, still within the top 6 teams in the competition. Richmond, Freo, GWS, Port Adelaide, Lions, Western Bulldogs are all going to struggle to make the 8, which definitely opens up for Adelaide. And if Adelaide can keep improving and keep playing it the way they are, they could definitely make the 8 this year. But anyway, there's the tips for the week. Good luck with your team. I hope your team wins. Have a great weekend of footy, and we'll see you in the next one. Catch you later.